Good morning. This is Chris from the CX team here at Impact Futures Childcare Company. This morning I'm talking to Elayne Bryan. We're gathering a really good case study around one of her learners. Could you just introduce yourself for me, Elayne?
Hi, as Chris said then, I'm Elayne Bryan. I'm the programme lead for Children, Young People, Families, Practitioner Community Award Pathway, which has an apprenticeship and also a level 4 qualification as part of the whole programme.
Talk to me about one of your learners. You've got a specific learner that you want to talk about today.
I do. So for the sake of her privacy, I'm just going to keep it anonymous and use Kay. So Kay came to us just over a year ago, a little over a year ago now, and was very nervous and uptight and struggled initially with the sessions because they're all virtually remote by MS Teams. So we bearing in mind it's a very new course, so we were in the early stages ourselves, and we were of teaching this way. So we were getting really quite adept at calming people and making them feel a little bit better. But this particular student really struggled, and we were to find out over the next few weeks why that was the case. So Kay had a very, very difficult time in one session and had to come out. Her personal tutor, Karen, went and spoke to her at length in another virtual room and she explained that why she was so nervous was the fact that she was getting upwards of 30 phone calls from her sister and her mum all day, every day. They're both unfortunately addicted to various substances. The mum and the sister taking drugs at the same time, and then finding themselves in various situations that they're asking Kay to get them out of. So a couple of times over the course of the programme, Kay had to go and get them out of the police station, had to go to a shop to plead with the store manager not to prosecute them for shoplifting, and it proceeded, plus attempted suicide that she'd have to go and rescue them from. She had to move house 3 times over that year because she'd was threatened with her own children being removed because of the situation with her mum and her sister. They'd stolen her money, her phone, their children's belongings. So she'd moved, and every time they seemed to find her, and every time she got a new number, she wasn't sure how they were getting hold of it, but they'd contact her again. And of course, she was a particularly beautiful human being, and she wanted to help them, but it was putting her own family at risk. And there were times when she'd come on and to the session, and then she'd have to go, and times when she'd have to come for extra support because she'd missed so much of the input. And the tutors were amazing. They've really supported her and really, really went that extra mile with her, which I can't tell you how grateful she was. And each week we were getting a little bit more information and just the difficulties. And then about halfway through the course, she was just absolutely inconsolable in one of the sessions, and Karen, her personal tutor, spoke to her, and her children, she's got 3 children, children's father had been imprisoned, and it had quite a long sentence. So she's left with 3 young children and all this, trying to manage to do a programme, trying to manage to work because she didn't have any choice, and responsible job as well. So she kept saying, I'm not going to be able to get this assignment in, I can't get it in. Anyway, she was supported, and she did. Now, I'm not saying for one second that she got a first class or an 80 mark, but she passed. And that, at the end of the day, that was an amazing achievement. So long and short of it, Kay got all her assignments in. She didn't get anything in late. She did exceptionally well. She passed she passed everything, and she got through the course, and we had the privilege, and it was a privilege, to see her on graduation day at DMU, and where she insisted on going to get her auntie and her nan to come and meet us. And I don't think, talk about not being a dry eye in the house, we were all of us were crying, because what an achievement, what an amazing student, what an amazing human being. And while we were there, she was getting inundated with phone calls, etc., etc. The whole of the day, and she had to go off because she needed to go and see to her sister. So it was a real privilege and an honour to be involved in that part of her life. She's now been accepted on a social worker degree in Staff's University, based on the work that she did on the CertHE programme. So amazing. She and if anybody will make an outstanding social worker, it's her. So we're very proud of playing a very small part in that, and all credit where it's due to that amazing learner.
Absolutely, it sounds like we've really achieved something there, and I know as you've been talking to me, I've got quite emotional listening to that.
Absolutely.
Which is for me, it's just great. I get that warm feeling inside, so it's really, really good. Just one question then. We talked about the delivery staff and how they were supporting us through that. What sort of things were they doing to support her through?
So we'd have many one-to-one sessions. So at the end of sessions, beginning of sessions, even at lunchtime, because very aware that she couldn't come, another day because of work commitments. So phone calls, she'd sometimes call at lunchtime, and they'd support her. So as it was getting towards assignment time, then the guys would spend, when they were, I don't know, maybe being taught module 1, but that they'd handed that assignment to him, the module 2 teacher would spend the time with her during that session to build up and to support her through that, to the requirements and how best to, what theories, etc., to look at during that time. So spent a lot of time, gave her a lot of material, which was available to everybody, and on Blackboard, but because actually some of the stuff that she asked for, perhaps we could have provided in the first place. So it was really useful that we put that on Blackboard and we provided that extra support, and then everybody benefited from it. So there's lots of different strategies and amazing support from our wonderful really brilliant team.
Yeah, absolutely. That's brilliant. Thank you very much for your time. That was really, really insightful. Some really good impact there, and some really, the barriers being overcome as well, and sort of hand in hand with the learner. It's fantastic to hear that we're having such a great impact. Thank you for your time, Elayne.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.